I'm happy, but there are little things that make me upset. Is this what marriage is like? 10 Cloverfield Lane is the new movie produced by J.J. Abrams and is directed by a man named Dan Trachtenberg, who is responsible for a fan-made Portal film made back in 2011 called Portal No Escape, which was a really awesome video. Go check it out. So this man obviously has a lot of experience with making a movie about captivity and trying to escape, which is exactly what 10 Cloverfield Lane is about. This film is about a woman who wakes up after a car accident, and she wakes up in a cellar 40 feet underground and is greeted by a man named Howard. Howard informs her that there was a chemical/nuclear attack up above, and he saved her life and another man's. But Michelle is still on the fence as to whether or not this is true or if she was abducted. Regardless of what he says is true, she and this other dude tries to escape. Okay, so here's how I'm gonna review this film. I am going to review the film itself right now. And then I'm going to review the marketing behind this film because I feel as though I really need to talk about the marketing. All right, so I just wanna get it out there. I'm talking about the film now. I'm giving this film a good review because the film itself was really, really good. I absolutely loved it. Dan Trachtenberg has said in multiple interviews that he takes inspiration from modern day video games when making his films. And even though this film isn't like Cloverfield in 2008, where it's not like found footage, it definitely feels like some shots are POV. We feel like we're walking in the cellar with Michelle, and we feel as though we're experiencing everything around us because we're kind of in her shoes and we kind of see what she sees, like in third person, especially when she's only in the cellar and she's looking through windows sometimes and we see what she sees outside, which I thought was really cinematic and was kind of like a video game sort of, because we're in one place in a video game and we can only see what's in front of us on the screen. Like she would be looking through a window and she would only be seeing things from a distance, which really built the tension as to what was going on in the outside world. I also like the character Michelle a lot. I was rooting for her throughout this whole film, and she is a smart human being in this film. She is very crafty and she's making all these things, these weapons sometimes, and trying to plan out exactly how to escape to the outside world and trying to craft ways to not be affected by the chemical in the air. If there are chemicals in the air, the movie is like a mystery too. You try to figure out whether or not there was a chemical attack or if this is all just like a hoax. I also like the other guy who was in the cellar, Emmett, who is kind of just like this regular dude. He's trying to make good out of a bad situation. He's the funny guy. And he was definitely the comic relief in this film, and I absolutely liked him a lot. And let's talk about John Goodman's character, Howard. Oh my God, this guy was terrifying. Even the parts that weren't terrifying, I just did not like him when he was in a room with her. And especially when they're in a cellar and it's like a small space, it definitely felt claustrophobic, and it felt more claustrophobic when he was in the room with her, and it just felt like there was this tension. You didn't know what his intentions were, and I was genuinely scared of John Goodman's character even when he wasn't doing anything in the film. The ending of the film, without going into any spoilers at all, I felt as though the ending of the film was somewhat of a cop-out to me. I liked what they were going for, and I liked how they tried to maintain that sci-fi aspect of Cloverfield, but it felt almost cliche to me. I don't know, but some people may enjoy it, some people may not. I thought it was going into like a totally different direction, and it just, I don't know, it was okay, but at the same time, it was like, really? There's even a line in the film where the chick is like, "You've got to be kidding me," and I was in the audience thinking, you gotta be kidding me. It was kind of funny, I don't know. So yeah, that was my review of the movie. I liked it a lot, specifically the parts in the cellar when she gets out and it's the ending. It's kind of like where I questioned it a little bit. It was okay, but let's talk about the marketing of this movie, okay? So this film is called 10 Cloverfield Lane, okay? We assumed that this was gonna have something to do with Cloverfield, us Cloverfield fans. That's why we were excited, because it's been 8 years since we saw Cloverfield back in 2008, and we assumed that this was going to be somewhat connected to Cloverfield. Like, we didn't think it was going to be a sequel, really, but we thought it was going to take place in the Cloverfield universe. So, does this film have anything to do with Cloverfield? No. And I was pissed. I was pissed off. And I remember when I heard about this movie back 2 months ago, okay? And I remember J.J. Abrams saying that this was a blood relative of the first Cloverfield movie. JJ, we don't know what the hell that means, okay? Films aren't people. They don't have blood. They don't have circulatory systems, okay? So when you say that it's a blood relative, I have no idea what that means, okay? In recent interviews, they have come out and said that this has nothing to do with Cloverfield. It takes place in its own timeline, where it's kind of like an episode of Twilight. It's its own story, it's its own thing, and it's in its own universe. And I respect that. I have said in the past that I really enjoy anthology films, VHS, Southbound, and just like films that like tell different stories. I just wish that they would have come out and said that to us. Like, it's a different film. Or at least named it something else. I don't know, because when you put the name Cloverfield in your title, obviously we're gonna think it has something to do with Cloverfield, and we're gonna get excited, and we're gonna go see this movie. That's why we saw this movie, because Cloverfield was in the name. You obviously used this for a cash grab. I don't know, that's my opinion. They maybe are doing something with this. Maybe they're connecting the two universes together. But as of now, I can only assume that you put Cloverfield in the title just for a cash grab. I'm sorry if I seem a little offended. I did like the movie a lot. I just didn't like how it was marketed, because Cloverfield back in 2008 had like this huge universe to it. There was so much viral marketing. If you want to check out my review, here's an annotation right here. And there was just so much in that film. It wasn't just a found footage monster film. There was so much viral marketing, and there was so much more to be found in this universe. But you've made this totally different universe that after the ending that you just gave me, I still don't know what's going on. So I now have two universes that I need to discover more. I like the movie a lot. I just didn't like how they called it 10 Cloverfield Lane. They could have called it something else. If you're making Cloverfield an anthology series, or like something like Twilight Zone or American Horror Story, where it's like a different story each movie, that's fine. Just say that's what you're doing next time, because J.J. Abrams has actually come out and said that they have a new idea for a movie, and that's cool. That's great. Just tell me if it's a different story next time. Don't give me some bullcrap as to say it's a blood relative, because we don't know what that means. Just tell us what you're doing. I understand you wanted to maintain mystery, but come on. And in the movie's defense, it didn't advertise that it was doing anything related to Cloverfield in 2008. When was a situation like that where J.J. Abrams was involved and we thought we were getting something, but it wasn't in the advertisements? Star Wars The Force Awakens. Do you see Luke Skywalker in that poster? At all? No. I mean, I know I was kind of bashing the marketing of this film a little bit, but in its defense, it didn't show anything from the trailers that had anything to do with Cloverfield. So I'm gonna give that to you, JJ. All right, guys, thank you so much for checking out my review of 10 Cloverfield Lane. Comment down below what you think of this movie, if you think it was marketed kind of weird. Like the video, share it, and please subscribe to Pixel Talk if you haven't yet for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, and gaming content. Thank you guys so much. I am Corbin Stuckey, and this is Pixel Talk.